Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Jonathan Bennett has always been a familiar face to audiences, from his breakout role in the cult classic Mean Girls to becoming one of the most recognizable stars in the Hallmark family. Over the years, he has transitioned from comedic teen heartthrob to beloved Hallmark leading man, consistently capturing the warmth, romance, and optimism that Hallmark fans look forward to with every movie premiere. But now, Jonathan Bennett isn't just stepping into another Hallmark role, he is stepping into history. What he is attempting to do is bigger than any one movie, and it is something that he cannot accomplish without the support of the audience. This moment is one of those rare instances where an actor's career intersects with cultural progress, and Jonathan is asking for help from fans, viewers, and supporters everywhere. Hallmark has long been known for its formula: comforting love stories, family values, small-town traditions, and a sense of nostalgia that makes audiences feel at home. But for years, there has been a conversation about how inclusive those stories really are. While Hallmark has always promoted messages of love and kindness, the representation of diverse couples, families, and identities has been limited. That began to change slowly in recent years, and Jonathan Bennett was at the forefront of that change. He became the first Hallmark Channel star to headline a holiday film that centered around an LGBTQ+ couple. This was groundbreaking for Hallmark, a network traditionally rooted in conventional storytelling, and it sent a clear message that love is love, and love stories deserve to be told in all their forms. For Jonathan, this wasn't just another role. It was personal. He has been open about his life, his love, and his marriage to James Vaughn, and stepping into a film that mirrored aspects of his truth was a milestone that connected deeply with fans who had longed to see themselves represented in Hallmark movies. When that film aired, it wasn't just about ratings. It was about opening doors. Viewers reached out saying they finally saw themselves in a Hallmark love story, and that validation carried enormous weight. But Jonathan knew that this first step could not be the last. Real progress requires consistency, and that's where his current mission begins. Making history in entertainment often comes with both celebration and resistance. There are those who cheer on these moments of representation, and there are those who criticize or push back against change. Jonathan has faced both. But what keeps him going is the understanding that for every critic, there are countless viewers whose lives are changed for the better simply by seeing love stories that reflect their own realities. That is why he is now calling on the audience for support. He understands that the only way forward is by proving that these inclusive stories have an audience, that people will tune in, that ratings will rise, and that Hallmark, and networks like it, cannot deny the demand for diverse representation. When Jonathan Bennett asks for your help, it isn't about helping him personally. It's about helping a movement. It's about standing with him and making sure that Hallmark continues to create opportunities for LGBTQ+ love stories, for diverse families, and for narratives that break away from the old molds. Supporting him means watching the premieres, spreading the word, posting online, and showing Hallmark that audiences want more of this progress. Every tweet, every share, every view becomes a vote for the future of representation in mainstream television. Jonathan's history-making journey doesn't stop with one film. He has actively pushed for more inclusive casting, more authentic storytelling, and the chance to tell love stories that haven't traditionally been part of the Hallmark canon. He knows the power of Hallmark's platform. Millions tune in during the holiday season. Families gather around their screens. Traditions are born around these movies. What better place to normalize inclusivity than in the very stories that people hold so dear? That is why Jonathan's mission carries so much weight. He is not just starring in films. He is shaping the future of Hallmark. Of course, the road has not been easy. Anytime you try to rewrite tradition, you're bound to encounter challenges. Hallmark has been under scrutiny for its choices, both when it didn't include diversity and when it began to. Navigating that balance means every new project comes with the pressure of not only entertaining but also proving that representation belongs. Jonathan understands that pressure, but he carries it with pride. He knows that if audiences rally behind him, this history-making shift will become permanent. It will no longer be newsworthy to see an LGBTQ+ couple in a Hallmark movie. It will simply be normal. For fans of Jonathan, supporting him now is about more than just tuning in. It's about being part of a cultural shift. It's about saying that you believe in love stories of all kinds. Jonathan has repeatedly spoken about how storytelling can change hearts and minds. He believes that when someone watches a Hallmark movie featuring an LGBTQ+ couple, they don't just see characters. They see people they can relate to, people they can root for, people whose happiness matters. That is the kind of quiet but powerful progress that Jonathan is championing. So what exactly is Jonathan asking for? He's asking viewers to show up. He's asking audiences to treat these inclusive films with the same energy and enthusiasm as any other Hallmark premiere. That means streaming it, watching live if possible, talking about it on social media, and letting Hallmark know that this is the future fans want. Networks listen to numbers, and every single viewer counts. When Jonathan Bennett says he needs your help, he means that the success of these projects is a collective effort. His career reflects the journey of someone who has always believed in optimism. Whether he was playing Aaron Samuels in Mean Girls, hosting Food Network competitions, or stepping into the snowy romance of a Hallmark Christmas movie. But this chapter is different. This is not just about lines on a script. It's about leaving a legacy. Jonathan Bennett wants to be remembered not just as a star, but as someone who helped transform one of the most tradition-driven networks into a home for everyone's story. The history being made is not just about a single milestone. It is about paving the way for the next actor who will headline a groundbreaking Hallmark movie, for the next couple whose love story will be told, for the next family who will see themselves represented. Every moment of progress builds upon the last, and Jonathan is using his platform to make sure that foundation is strong. That is why he needs your help. Without the audience, without the support, the progress could stall. But with viewers rallying behind him, it could flourish. Think about what it means for future generations. A child growing up seeing diverse love stories in holiday movies won't question whether their story matters. They will know it does. A couple watching a Hallmark film will feel seen instead of excluded. Families will gather to watch movies that reflect the world they live in, rather than a version of the world that only includes some people. That is the bigger picture Jonathan Bennett is fighting for. This isn't just about one network either. The ripple effect is real. If Hallmark continues to succeed with inclusive programming, other networks and studios will follow suit. Progress in entertainment often spreads, and what starts on one channel can inspire changes across the industry. Supporting Jonathan now means supporting a larger cultural shift toward authentic and inclusive storytelling. It means showing Hollywood that audiences are ready for more than the same old formula. Jonathan's courage to be open, to embrace his truth, and to demand better representation from one of television's most influential networks is what makes this moment historic. But courage alone is not enough. Change requires community. It requires fans stepping up, using their voices, and letting the world know that this matters. That is why Jonathan is reaching out to you. He is asking you to stand with him, to be part of history, and to help ensure that the progress made does not fade away. If you've ever watched a Hallmark movie and felt the joy, the comfort, the happiness it brings, then you know the power of these stories. Imagine how much greater that joy becomes when everyone can see themselves in those stories. That is the future Jonathan Bennett is building, and with your help, it can become a reality that lasts for years to come. The message is simple, but the impact is enormous. Show up, tune in, support, and be part of making Hallmark history alongside Jonathan Bennett. Because in the end, history is never made by one person alone. It is made by communities, by audiences, by people who care enough to stand up and say, yes, these stories matter. Jonathan has done his part by taking the risk, by stepping into that role, and by pushing for change. Now he is asking you to do your part. Together, you can help him make sure that Hallmark's history is not just about tradition, but about transformation, inclusivity, and love in all its beautiful forms. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.